Good morning. Today we're going to talk a bit about the addiction to comfort and how everybody today is a bit too addicted to comfort. In every single person's lives, including mine, including yours, including your fucking friends, including your family, everybody is to some degree addicted to comfort. It might be staying in the same routine. It might be the objects you use. It might be your fucking comfortable blankets on your bed. It might be your computer that you use to play video games with, and you're comfortable playing those video games every single day. It might be the TV show or the I don't know, the movies or the things you do on a regular basis, the food you eat. Being comfortable is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is not necessarily a good thing either. You see, back in the day, people had to fight to survive and couldn't necessarily rely on comfort at all if they wanted to survive to the next day. If you had to go out and hunt for food, or if you had to go out and get some wood to build a fire, or fight some neighboring tribe to get their resources because you couldn't survive without them, you really had to think, okay, what happened back then? Well, usually most of the time the men used to go out and used to do the hard things. You had the known circle of the tribe. So this is the village, let's say, and the men had to go outside of this village in order to hunt for food or to gather supplies or to fight neighboring tribes so that they could protect the people within this village. So when you actually think about it, we as a society have evolved to become more and more comfortable, make everything easier and easier, make everything more accessible, more simple, more straightforward, without the need to go do those dangerous things anymore. That includes gathering food. You just need to go to the supermarket, get some money, exchange that money for the food, and then you're basically good to go. You don't need to have like that village anymore. The village is basically completely blurred out now. Like a modern city is like a village, but like 1000x, if not more. Like it's completely blurred out. The zones of comfort are way more prominent than in the village. In the village, it's like everybody just stays in the center. The women and the children, they stay in the comfort of the village. They don't really go out unless they have to. And it's the men's job to go out and attack and conquer and take things, get back to that community. So when you actually think about it, in your life, what are you super comfortable doing? It might also be your gym workout. If you're doing the same thing over and over without overloading yourself or progressing or getting better at something or increasing the weight or doing something harder, then you're not really progressing. Like for instance, for me, I've been progressing over the past year on pull-ups and muscle-ups, and now I can do a full muscle-up without the need to put like a support, like a small piece of, a small piece of wood or plastic or whatever underneath my feet so that I can elevate myself and I can more easier do the muscle-up. I've practiced over the past couple years. Like I remember when I started, I was doing assisted pull-ups with extra weight to push myself upward, and now I can do like 10 pull-ups no problem. It still feels a bit hard when I get to the 10th pull-up, but I got to the point where I'm strong enough to pull myself upward and to do muscle-ups. So I'm pretty happy with that. But what's the next step? Well, The next step is becoming so comfortable doing those muscle ups that I can do 10 in a row. And the next step after that is maybe increasing the weight. Maybe I'll do them with a weight vest. Maybe I'll do them with attaching some weight to my waist. Maybe I'll have to find something harder to do. So I looked at what I was doing, and since I do a lot of calisthenics in the gym, I looked into some type of exercises that I felt not comfortable doing at all. And something that I noticed some people were doing were dragon flag, something like that. I think it's the name, exercises. And basically what you're doing is you're putting your back like this. So imagine this, like the palm of my hand here is the back. So you're here, you're sitting down, you're basically just flat laid out, and you've got your back here. And what you're doing is you're contracting your core and you're making your legs go up like this. Like this is these are your feet here, and what you do is you do this. And you only move your legs and you try and stabilize your core between everything. And it is extremely hard. I did it like a couple of days ago, and all of my back shoulder here just got fucked, like completely destroyed. And I had never really worked out that muscle a lot. So it made me realize, like, I feel like the first day at the gym. Like, I remember I went to the gym the first time. I did some shoulder exercises, some chest exercises. I went back home, woke up the next day, and I was like, it hurt so bad. And that feels good, because it means that I'm progressing. If you go to the gym and you, like, I personally go every single day. If you go to the gym and every single time it doesn't feel like you're hurting at the end of the day, that means you didn't really do as much as you could have done. You could have pushed a bit harder. You could have increased the weight a bit more. You could have done a different exercise. You could have done a more complicated, more hard exercise. The harder the exercise, the more your body is going to be engaged. Good thing to note. So, been trying the dragonfly, something like that. Don't remember the exact name. The point is, I do the exercise. So, did that. So, I recommend, if you're kind of used to the same routine or the same exercises too much at the gym, I recommend either increasing the weight more, or increasing the number of reps you do, or increasing the speed and reducing the amount of time that you rest between sets, or just doing a more harder exercise, a more complicated exercise, so that you can feel proud of yourself for doing something hard. And rejecting the addiction to comfort. This is the same thing. Like, most of the time, if you have a very comfortable bed, if you have a very good mattress, a very good blanket, sheet, whatever, and everything feels soft, fluffy, and comfortable, what's going to happen is you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be like, I want to stay in bed. Usually this happens. It's a thought that enters your mind. It's like, I don't want to leave the bed because it feels so nice in here. It feels so warm and cuddly and fucking soft. And that's a good thing, but you need to be careful, because if you get addicted to that, you might just forget what it is you actually were supposed to do. You might forget your purpose. You might get distracted. You might get set aside for a second and then wake up and be like, wait. I'm supposed to get to work right now. I scheduled my entire day. I did an episode on schedules yesterday. I recommend you go check it out. Schedule out my day. Why the fuck am I staying in bed? Like, I've got stuff to do. Like, okay, time to go to work. Like, boom, boom. You know what I mean? So, realistically, you need to be a bit wary, a bit careful, a bit aware of what's happening, how is it happening to you, what's affecting you, and catch yourself in the moment and be like, okay, let's not be comfortable right now. Let's not seek too much comfort, because comfort is a useful tool, but if you get too dependent on comfort, you're gonna end up fucking around and doing nothing. That's basically what it is. You're gonna stay where you are. You're never gonna get better. You're never gonna improve. You're never gonna change. And you're just gonna stay doing the same old, same old. Problem is, the world is changing. So if you don't change and adapt and get better, you're not gonna get better. And the world is just gonna make your small circle smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then it's fucked. So yeah, take some time to really think, what are you doing right now that is too comfortable that you could just push a bit past, push a bit more, get better at, do a bit less, do a bit differently. Even if it's like your schedule, your routine, maybe what you could do is, if you work from home, what you could do instead of working from home is just take up all of your stuff and just go work from a coffee shop. And if you've been working at that coffee shop for a bit, what you could do is you could change coffee shops. You'd be like, okay, I'm gonna test this one out over here. If it's shit, I'll go test another one out. And if this one's good, I'll stay here for a bit, go there for like a couple months, and then go to another one. And it always changes up your routine and your environment as well, which keeps you in the state of focused. It keeps you in a focused state because you need to adapt. You need to learn the environment. You need to, it's basically just a mini challenge for your brain to adapt to. If you're constantly moving, your brain changes environments. It's going to feel like, okay, I need to be careful. I need to learn the environment. I need to know exactly what the fuck's happening. I need to learn. I need to adapt. That's what I mean. Like, if you're constantly adapting to your environment, you're always going to be able to get a bunch of stuff done. It's super easy. Because I've been doing this for the past, maybe like a year, maybe like a bit less than a year. Basically what I've been doing is I've been switching from working, since I own my own business. I either work from home from time to time, or I go out to a coffee shop, so that way I'm in a social setting. So it's basically putting myself in an environment where if I were to watch videos or scroll on YouTube or fucking play video games, I would feel that social pressure, and I would be like, you know what, I don't want people to judge me for doing those kinds of things, so I'm just not gonna do them. And it's a great way to socially condition yourself to be like, if I'm judging others on the fact that they're playing video games or they're scrolling or they're watching movies or whatever at a coffee shop, why the fuck would I do that? If I'm judging people based on what they do, then I can't do those things. Otherwise, I'm a hypocrite. Right? Like, you don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, it's retarded. So, take some time. I want you to take some time today and actually lay out everything in your life that you think you're doing a bit too well, that you've been doing a bit too long, you've been doing for a bit, and question yourself, how can I get better at this? How can I do this differently? How can I challenge myself to do it a bit more? How can I challenge myself to make a difference? How can I challenge myself in a good way, in a productive way, so that I can change my schedule, or that I can change the things I do, or that I can change the environments I'm in to something that will allow me to be better? It's not that hard. I gave you a few examples of, you can do exercises at the gym. You can do them differently, add more weight, reduce the amount of time you take for resting, increase the amount of reps, or do a more complicated or harder exercise. Other things would be like going out, testing different environments. What else? Changing up your room is a good one as well. Like moving the furniture around also helps, I noticed, because it changes your environment. It refreshes everything basically in your mind. It's like, I was too comfortable using this setting. I'm just gonna move everything around so that I can feel less comfortable, and I feel like I have more to do in a different way. Like basically, when you change your environment, it refreshes your brain and forces it to adapt to that new environment. Even if it's a small change, like moving your furniture around in your bedroom or in your living room or in your office. If you have an office, that's pretty nice. I would definitely suggest doing that. Because when you actually look at the lives of the people who do not do this, who live the comfort of the day-to-day, you look at their lives, you look at their houses, apartments, places where they live, you can see that they're extremely comfortable by the degree of clutter, by the degree of disorganization in their life. It's very simple to see. Like for instance, I went to this person's house and I was extremely surprised at how cluttered and how disorganized it was. And I was like, wait, well, what the fuck? Like it felt like I needed to organize the clutter. It was that bad. So I was like, okay, it's not my house, but at the same time, like, I would prefer if I could make an impact on this person. So I had nothing to do so they offered me some food. So I was waiting for them to cook the food. And while I was waiting, I was like, okay, well, let me just like start cleaning up some shit because I've got nothing to do. So I started becoming productive, like that's just me. So start moving some things around and everything. And they're like, please, don't touch that, or don't do this, or don't do that. And it's like, you can see their comfort just crumbling around them. You can see it. You can feel it. You're organizing and you're cleaning up the clutter that they're used to. When you're too used to something, that means you're comfortable with it being like that. When you don't clean your house, when you don't organize your things, when you don't, that would be like a good place to start. If your house is cluttered, like dirty or disgusting, or everything's just disorganized, I would spend some time just reorganizing and re-cleaning, redoing all of your fucking house. Change up the furniture, everything to make your mind feel like progress. It's like, we've cleaned everything. This feels nice. It feels clean, organized, and neat. I don't need to think about it anymore. That's what I'm talking about. And number one, that feeling is great. I walk into my house. It's the most organized thing I've seen all fucking day. And I'm like, nice. I don't have anything to think about. I don't need to be like, oh, I need to vacuum. Oh, I need to clean the floor. Oh, I need to organize the stuff. Oh, I've got some stuff to put back in a drawer over there. Oh, I need to put my clothes back in the closet. I don't need to think about that. Everything's already done. Everything's already done. The dishes are done. The kitchen's clean. The living room's clean. Everything looks neat and tidy. That's what I'm talking about. And then you need to go up after that point. You need to go up to that level of, okay, everything's neat and tidy. How can I challenge myself to make that different? Or how can I challenge myself to change the environment to make it better or to make it different so that I can adapt a bit more and challenge myself with something as minuscule as that is. It could be the food you eat. If you're used to eating the same thing over and over, you could challenge yourself to eat something differently, or eat less, or eat more. Those are the things you can like change in your day-to-day life. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. It's not that hard. Like, you can take some time, and I'm sure you can, come up with a list of things in your environment that are making you seem a bit too comfortable. and you can come up with a list of things that would be different, or would change that, or would make you feel more like uncomfortable by doing so. For example, if let's say you're always laying in bed with your computer and watching videos, what you could do is force yourself to go in the living room and sit on the table, stand up and watch the stuff while you're standing up. You might feel like, this is shit, but it's better for me. This is shit, but maybe I should do something more productive instead. And then it just switches your mind and your thoughts around so that you're more easily able to do what it is you know you need to do, is what I'm talking about. And for instance, for me, I created this YouTube channel. I know I haven't done content in a while. I've been posting content for the past 3 weeks now. Pretty cool. But we're nowhere near how I want it to be, so we're not stopping anytime soon. I keep getting these messages from people. Hey, are you sure you're using your time properly? Yes. It's 30 minutes. It's not that long. So, plus I want to give back. I want to give back to the community without necessarily targeting one individual at a time. If I can put out a video that helps like one person as efficiently, but 50, 100, 1,000 people can watch it, then that makes 1,000 times better the result. If I'm like, let's say I'm having a conversation with someone and I'm telling them like, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. It's going to be extremely personal and extremely tailored, and to that person extremely custom. But on the other hand, I'm not helping as many people as I could be helping. But on the other hand, if I record a video and I talk about a topic that helps people do a better job in their life, the amount of help might not be as elevated and as personal, but it is going to increase and improve the lives of a lot of people, every single person watching all the way through. So that I do appreciate way more. And I do appreciate you guys. If you watched until this point, let me know in the comments. If you watch the entirety of the videos every time I post, that means the world to me. Like, all of the watch time, all of the time you invest into giving me your attention, I appreciate that. Like, I watch I take a look at the analytics and I'm like, nice. It looks like somebody took this video to heart and understood what I had to say. And maybe they didn't. And in that case, feel free to comment in the comments like, hey, I don't fucking understand what you're talking about. Please clarify this point. I don't understand how to make my life better by changing my environment or challenging myself to not be comfortable anymore. I don't understand. Please explain. And in that case, I will explain. Just give me a really good question. Be as specific as possible. If you have a question, I'm happy to answer it. No worries. Happy to give some advice. Happy to do all of that. I'm here to give back because when I was a kid, I would have loved having somebody that I could have asked questions to, that I was more advanced and more into this sphere of improvement, so that I could get some advice faster, so that I could get better just a bit quicker. Because we're not here for a long time, we're here for a good time on this earth. So yeah, spend some time to write down what it is you feel a bit too comfortable doing, a bit too comfortable in, and come up with a few things of how you can change that. It could be a routine. It could be like a certain action you do. It could be literally anything. The food you eat, the exercises you do, the places you go, the environment you're in. Literally anything. If you have a routine, I suggest switching it up a bit. It's super simple. If you're scheduling out your day like I mentioned yesterday in the other video, you should be able to do that pretty easily. And yeah, it's gonna demand you do a bunch of stuff. Like for instance, for me, a good example would be dating and relationships. I wasn't very good at dating before, and now that I've gotten a bit of more experience, what I did was basically I went from not knowing what the fuck I was doing to failing miserably multiple times in a row. Even though the person I found them pretty attractive. Like I would have liked to have that person in a relationship with me, because we men fucking like looking at stuff that looks good. So I personally would prefer if my girlfriend looks really good. So the people I asked out were part of the standards that I hold for myself. But on the other hand, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to go through this uncomfortable thing of failing over and over again. And it might be in relationships, it might be in business. You might be shit at business. I started doing business. I did some in-person outreaches, and I felt the anxiety. I felt like, bro, like it's gonna feel like shit. Like, why the fuck am I doing this to myself? And then I remembered, yeah, right, I need to make money. So when it comes to relationships, for me, a good example would be how I came about it. And I was kind of like, I had this fear inside of me of like, I might get rejected, or this is gonna feel like shit, or I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You've always got this fear when you don't know how to do something. When you don't know how to do something, you've got this fear of, what if I fuck it up? And that's fine. Fucking it up is fine. You need to be okay fucking up something so that you can learn from that and get better at it. This is what I did for dating. So I started dating around and going and approaching a bunch of people, and in the streets, if I saw somebody that I enjoyed and that I liked, I went up to them and I said, hey, you look really nice. And then just started like a brief conversation with them, and then I said, could I get your number? And then boom. So planned the first date, and I'm not gonna lie, I fucked a bunch of them up. Like 3, 4, messed a bunch of them up. Messed the texting game, missed a bunch of shit. Learned a bunch of stuff. So, like for instance, I remember one of them, I was extremely honest and extremely upfront on the date, and I told her literally everything about my life, and that felt like too much, and I probably overwhelmed her. And she was like, okay, he's giving me all the information, so I don't really see the point in entertaining this relationship. There's nothing to discover. It's not a game anymore. It's just like he's just laying everything out on the table. And at the time, I felt like that was a strategically right thing to do, because if she understood what kind of person I was, and the fact that I was an entrepreneur and I had my business and that she would be like really interested. Because like usually, well, at the time, I thought women wanted to be impressed by men by doing a bunch of shit, which is not necessarily the exact phrasing, the exact thing I've noticed now. So basically did that, and then she was like, oh no, actually I'm a bit too focused on my career and my work, and I'm a bit too busy, and I don't really have time for this. And I was like, okay. So obviously she just didn't want to tell me that she's not interested, and I fucked it up. So obviously there's that. So I fucked that up. I went through a bunch of different ones as well. I fucked a bunch of them up. The texting game, I texted like there was this one chick I texted way too much, and she was like, no, I'm not really interested anymore. And then this one other chick, I texted her and I was like challenging her in the texting, even though we had never gone on a date before. And she was like, you know what, I don't think this is going to work out. And so I've learned from my mistakes, and I think this is a good thing to take account from for you guys. It's fine fucking it up. Like, it's fine failing over and over. Like, it's alright. Like, it's not a problem. The most important part is that you learn from your mistakes, and you get better through seeking those uncomfortable things. Like for instance, I was shit at dating. I knew that it was going to be uncomfortable. I knew it was going to feel like shit, And I knew I was going to get rejected, but I still went through it, and I got better by doing it more and more and more. And now I have a girlfriend that is nice. So think about what it is you want, and then think about what it is that you're a bit too comfortable doing, being a part of, the environment you're in, the things you're doing, the schedule you have, and imagine how you can do that differently and how you can do that better. It might be, you might be waking up at 6 a.m. and instead say like, fuck it, wake up at 5 a.m. instead, or 4 a.m. That's what I mean. So find some things, make a list, share the list in the comments if you want. I'm happy to have a conversation with every single one of you guys, give you guys some advice. And I appreciate you, every single one of you that watched until the end, like I mentioned multiple times already, across all of these videos. And like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.